me so I will know what I'm doing.
You were the only
Thank you.
person, you and Nicolette were the only ones, and you're the other host on the account. So I assumed you know how to do it. My apologies.
That's okay. Thank you so much.
I think she
for-
didn't notice your not under your name. I think that,
Yes, I thought that you were still a co-host with me. I'm sorry. That's it. Thank you.
Can I continue? Hello?
Yes,
Hello,
go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Yes,
Nicolette.
Nicolette, go
Okay.
ahead.
So, what I wanted to say was that 10,000 was the original threshold, and that is actually in our Articles of Association and Memorandum of Association. So we should have been doing that years ago, and we did not. Any year that the net assets is over 10,000 pounds, the equivalent, or the income for that fiscal year is over 10,000 pounds, you have to do an audit. There's no way around it. Because the 10,000 threshold was low, and we complained, I'm one of the ones that complained, or I wouldn't say complained, brought it up at the treasurer's meeting, if there's a possibility that the threshold can be raised, because 10,000 is very low. And I guess maybe some other branches, mention it to them. They reviewed it and they increased the thresholds to 25,000 pounds. So if your net assets is 25,000 pounds or the equivalent, or your income is the equivalent of 25,000 pounds, this year you have to have an audit, right? Currently in our bank account, we have $51,000. So there's no doubt in my mind that we will be above the threshold and we will have to have an audit. There's no way around that. This is the rule this is one of CIARb rules, and it's actually stated on the budget. It's stated everywhere. It's stated in their rules. It's stated in the rules that Rangan sent out when she first became chair, and there's no way around it. That's my answer to Shallon's question.
Okay. Said there's no way around it. Okay, so you can go, you can continue
Okay,
anything.
so I mean, when I was saying that we needed an audit last year, it was all CIARb rules. It's there and it's entrenched in there. They're not going to waver on it. As a matter of fact, CIARb tells us that we need an audit. So as I said, because we do need an audit this year, I'm bringing up at the executive committee that we have to decide on the auditors. And my recommendation as treasurer, and having done the audit last year, is to recommend that, it be put out that Baker Tilly, we continue with them because, it would be an easier process. I did a lot of work and I had to do a lot of work with the audit and the auditors, but hopefully this year it wouldn't be as bad. So I'm just recommending that the secretary put on whatever corporate documents has to be done so we can get that going. Normally, I think at the AGM, you would appoint the auditors, but of course, everything didn't flow as it should have last year. So, we have to play catch up with regard to the appointment of the auditors.
Okay.
So that's the first item. Sorry.
Can I ask how much did they charge for the last audit or for the first audit they did?
The first audit they charged was $3,500 plus VAT plus disbursements.
And how much did that come to?
One
How much did
second.
you pay them?
Hold on one second, I'll tell you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, 3,500 times VAT is $3,920. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the disbursements are, but I think I remember it was about $200 to $300 with disbursements. I can't remember exactly.
But the final payment was $3,930 in any event,
Plus the disbursement amount.
plus the disbursements
Yes.
of 200 approximately.
about 200 and something, $200 to $300. I can't remember exactly.
Okay, I'll check the records just to be, to put it into proper perspective into this minutes. Okay, so what,
Okay.
so what do we agree
So-
now?
so-
We agree that I will
So
send.
now we have to agree, do we want Baker Tilly or do you want a new auditor? And if somebody wants a new one, if they can suggest any, or, we'll have to go and look for somebody else and get a quote and all of that. As I said, my recommendation is to continue on because it's always easy to continue on with the previous auditors because they have a history now and they have all of the corporate information and, it would be a more straightforward process.
Yeah, it's always easier. I'm asking if no other accountants are members of CIArb. I don't know if Shellen, whether, because I know in the early days, Pete Mark did the audit for us free of charge because we had a couple members of CIArb in Pete Marwick. And then I don't know if Tony Gomez is still a member because
Right.
Tony Gomez did the audit.
Is he a part? He is a part of.
Is he still a member?
Baker Tilly.
That's what I'm asking. Is he still a member?
Yes, he's a member.
Yes, he
Okay, so
is.
that's okay. So that's what I'm saying. If he's
But
still a member,
this
that's
is
the best
why
price.
This is why we
Yeah,
got
then
such
that's what it is.
a low price. That's what I
No, that's what I was
explained.
asking. If that's the best price, then I
Yeah.
think we'll just go with that. Because if
Right.
he's still a member and he's given us that as a member, then I think we'll just
Yeah.
go with that.
Because that's what I explained to the executive committee last year, because he's a member and I would say, and I know him, I mean, I've worked with him on a professional basis before, I was able to, and that was the lowest he said he could go. And I understood where he was coming from.
Okay, so everybody agree? Everybody else?
No issues with me.
So- Anybody said something else? No? So I guess we.
No, I think what we ought to do is send it to everybody so at least they'll know that this is something that we were going to vote on. Was that?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll just make it easy. And then you could ask
Okay.
everybody round robin their response to you.
Okay. All right, so we'll send that out. Okay?
Okay.
Send
so
out the
second-
necessary documents
Mhm.
and to get everybody to agree for Baker Tilly to do the auditing for CIArb Bahamas branch.
Okay.
Okay?
So the second
Anything
item,
else?
yes, the
Second
second
item.
item. The second item that I was concerned with is, wanted to address was the budget. So I sent the budget out to everybody last evening. Hopefully you guys had a chance to look at it. And I would like to know if people have any recommendations, additions, deletions, because I didn't receive, the only budget that I received was the education budget. And that is the crux of the, our budget. And the education committee submitted 3 courses. And I just want to briefly say it's in the budget that I sent out. They're recommending mediation module 1 at a cost of $650 in late 2021. Construction adjudication module 1 at a cost of $450 in early 2022. And international arbitration module 1 at a cost of $500 in mid 2022. Just to note that we need a minimum of 10 persons, I think, for the courses, and CIArb London has to approve all courses. So that was basically the crux of my budget. I sent out the draft budget yesterday, and I just wanted to highlight that in the budget, so I had to, as I said, from my professional knowledge and training and whatever, most of the figures I had to put in myself because I didn't receive budgets from the committees. And I wanted to let Madam Chair know, and this was just my estimation, that I've put in a $7,000 figure in bad debt, just in case whatever comes off the discussion on the outstanding debt. And that's just an estimation that I put in. I don't really have any strong basis of whatever, but I just wanted to put in something because I noticed that they do have an expense, the bad debt listed. But all the other numbers sorry. So I have, well, I have mine open, but if you go on courses, you'll see the 3 courses listed. I have the income. I estimated what the expenses would be. Then they have conferences, if we're gonna have any conferences. And I just put in something for January, about 25 attendees. And then I have some expenses relating to that, no income. And then for networking, I had put in something, an approximate date of December and one in April of 15 attendees each. And then I have some expenses in there for meals and refreshments totaling $500. So they were just estimations that I was thinking, because I didn't receive anything from anyone. But I'd like to know at this meeting if I need to add anything to the budget that wasn't given to me earlier, because I would really like to, we're kind of late, even though it's due the end of September. And I would like to send in my budget tomorrow evening.
We had discussed.
Nicolette, can I just intervene, please? Nicolette,
Yes.
I want you to add for education committee, and Donette has given us very kindly a quote, and I would like you to push that to say about $800.
No, we had agreed at 1,000 because it's not just the adjudicator. It
Okay,
includes,
Donette.
yes, it includes the flyers, which was what I discussed with Nicolette, that I didn't
Okay.
know how many courses and when, so we can know how many flyers we're going to need, etc.
Yes, so
So
thank you so
we
much.
discussed
So we
that
add 1,000 for that.
for PR.
For what? What is it for? What is it for?
That's
For
what-
PR,
that's
the
for
adjudicator
adjudication.
and preparing meeting flyers.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
I
And
can
another thing
add that.
I would like to add, another thing I would like to add to education, and we have spent money to have an IT guy to assist us with the days that we did the 2 courses. I can't remember his name, nor do I remember how much we paid.
The amount is $1,500. It was Imagine, EMAJIN Enterprises. I sent it to you on WhatsApp when you asked.
Okay, thank you so much. So can we also add that, Nicolette? Okay, that's a very important one. And another thing that I would like to add, please, is that it was decided that we will have the CARBs on Zoom program. We also have to add that, please. It's only $140 or whatever it was, and then we increase it when we have programs. So put probably extra.
I have that in already. I have that in
Oh, you
already.
do, okay.
Yeah.
So so your budget for yourself, have you covered that? Other than the
Yes,
audit?
I've covered some of these stuff already.
Okay.
I might
Okay.
beef them up a little bit because when I put in the price of the course, I also put in expenses, which would cover things like IT or whatever, but I'll beef it up a little bit according to the
Okay.
numbers that you're giving me.
I
And
have. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, why this budget is so important is that, the first thing, I mean, the basis of any organization is we need money to do stuff. So why we needed the committees to send in their budget, because even if you thought, it's a budget, it's an estimate, but even if you have some vision of something that you want to do, an event, whatever, we can put it in the budget once it's reasonable. And CIArb is going to look at our budget, and even if we don't have enough money, that's how we get the grant. That's how I was able to get the grant last year.
Yes, and then on another note, I think we should also add to employ the services of an admin person. And we have sort of interviewed a husband and wife, and we have not made a decision. And I would like you to also add for a per contract basis for someone to assist Shellen and whoever else needs that services, extra services, please.
Okay,
Yep.
I actually have that in the budget already.
Okay.
There's
And how much
a
did you put
tab.
for that, please? How much did you put for that, Nicolette?
I'm gonna
please?
tell you right now, there's a
Thank
tab
you.
on the budget that says employees, and CIArb says that even if you haven't hired anybody and you're hoping to employ in 2022 or whatever, you can put it in. So I had on a tab that says employees, I have TB to be discussed or whatever. I have a job title administrator. I have hours worked 0, and I had put in 3,600, which is an approximate figure of $300 a month. That was just my estimation. So you can let me know if you want another figure in there for a budget.
Probably you can increase it by another, to make it about 4,000, please, okay?
Sure, no problem.
And another payment, if it is agreed, is going to take on hold is SAG education training and online payment. We have, I know we haven't come to that area, but ExCom colleagues, Doneth was very kind to organize a very excellent program where we learned a lot about online banking. And we want to, your input and all, well, input if you wish to, and we want
I can't hear, okay, okay.
I'm saying that we would
Yeah.
like to go through a resolution so we can appoint them to address our online banking. They're similar to PayPal. They work with a lot of banks. And I believe that is the best way to go. So this will help our treasurer and also us in collecting monies the way we did in the past, whereas everyone is going to take whatever course, whatever training they will have to pay, and they will administer it for us. Can you give some more information, Donette, if you don't mind? I would like you to, please.
Before she
And
does,
what's the
I
cost,
have
please?
information in the budget on that already. I included that
Oh,
in
you
the
do?
budget.
Okay, so how
Yes.
much did you put for that, please? Do we have enough for that?
I can't remember off the top of my head because there's no, you don't put a special line for SAG. You have different like internet, website, etc. But I'll review those when we come off the
Okay.
call. But I have numbers in there that would cover those expenses.
Okay, well, I think I sort of touched all the areas. I did ask both Shelley as well as Carol for the things that they do so generously for CIArb, which includes with Carol, I hope she don't mind me saying this, she handles all our annual filing of our articles of memorandum and other things. And Shelley, in her way, she runs around with her gas all over the place. I hope she doesn't walk. But no
So
one.
do I, Madam Treasurer. So do I. Carol can send that in to me. I would love to put that in the budget.
Well, I think, I don't know, I can't speak for, if they want to generously give some, Nicolette, if you think you need to pay yourself a couple of dollars, what, we can take a resolution. You know, the thing is, one thing, I like to contribute to. I can't fault anyone for donating their time, their expertise, as well as from their pockets. But at the same time, Carol was laughing a little while ago. I asked Shelley, I said, we don't want to take advantage of Carol. I said, we have to pay her. And I was told no, or no to the effects of something like that. And same thing with Shelley. Shelley, are you sure you don't want us to give you any contribution, please? For all you're running around, gas money, whatever. Okay, she's not nodding her head. She's going like this. Anyway, I done my bit. Thank you so much.
Just want to know if Carol is going to, because I know this came up before about that we probably owe Carol some funds for all the corporate work that she did. So I was wondering if she can probably send that in. That would be good.
Yes, and another thing is we have confirmed, as I promised to Carol and to the branch, I got a fee schedule from CIArb, and Carol and Ruby very kindly did their work, which was the 2 introduction courses. In my humble opinion, I think we should write the check to Carol, even though I said to her, she said nothing, but I'm going to recommend that. I think we should reward them. Anyway,
I need to know the amounts. I need to know the amounts so I can put it in the budget.
Carol?
Carol?
I don't have close to the amount of anything right now, but we could talk about it after. I think Bill probably knows the amount. So, well, Cobb has, Reagan, you have the information from Cobb on the
Yes,
amount
I
of the
do. I send
training.
it to you. I send it to you.
And I'll find out from my office what the amount is on the,
Yeah. I sent it to you about a month ago. They send it to me
Okay,
and I
on
send it
the-
to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, please, okay?
on the corporate
Because it's
fees.
gonna make
Okay,
it difficult, yeah, because it's gonna make it difficult for other people to, some people may not
moving
want, to-
forward, right?
and I think
Does
at the end,
anybody have a ballpark figure around how much it was?
you're talking for Carol?
For the
yes,
two, well,
Oh,
yeah,
we-
for the fees for, I think, yes, for them doing the
she was a
lecturing
tutor
courses
for the
in February.
introduction.
She
Tutor
has to
fees,
let us
yes,
know
because
that,
there's a
yeah.
slot for tutor fees in the budget.
Yes, yeah, she has to let us know that. But
Anyone,
I'm good,
anyone
I'm
has an
good. with-
idea?
Is in the list, is in the list that I sent, I received from Cobb.
Mhm. Okay,
So whatever
Nobody?
it is, we will give it to you, Nicolette, okay? We will
Hello?
give it to you. I
Are
prefer
we
if Carol
frozen?
finds it and she puts in an invoice
Hello?
for that. I think we should add event, just to make it professional, Carol, if you don't mind, put a invoice or something, so therefore in the future, nobody questions it, please, okay? I think that will be good protocol. That
Okay,
we,
but
So
I don't, I
I'll
don't
get
need
it done
any
in
of
the
that
que-
right now. I don't need an invoice right now. I just need a figure.
I don't have either of them at the moment, but I will get it to you. And the question is
Okay.
raised whether we are an NPO, and the answer, we registered.
yes,
yeah, thank you.
yes.
With regard to the legislation committee, which Carol is the chair, I don't want to speak on her behalf. I leave that to her too, about the legislation committee. If there's any expenses.
No, well, I just say we don't have any expenses because I don't have any information on the list of people from the meeting with all the members as to, I don't know how we were planning, if we did plan to reach out to them to see who wanted to participate. I don't know if we've done that. And so we really are in abeyance until that has happened.
Yeah,
And so I see Yolanda's on the phone, so she might be able to answer that question.
Yolande?
Hi, good evening. Yeah. I reached out for the insurance specifically, but I think that what I would like to do is to send an email to members of the branch and list the committees and ask them to respond. I don't have an issue with them responding to me, and so that I could collate that information and then so we'll know where we are in terms of persons who are willing to participate.
thank you.
Because I think, I mean, I decided that, I thought that would be good, given the fact that we didn't have the numbers we wanted for the meeting. And I can't think of another way to reach them except to do it by email.
Okay,
Okay, so I just want everyone to know that when I did the budget, I had a lot of these items you're bringing up in mind. So most of them are already in the budget. So, you know, when figures, except the tutor fees, I'll put that in the budget. If Carol
Okay.
can send that to me, hopefully by tomorrow, by 12 o'clock tomorrow, I'd appreciate it. And so,
I think Reagan has sent it to you. She got it from Cobb London.
Yeah, I have to look at it real good.
don't
okay,
have
and then
I send it to you too, Carol. I think I send it to everybody. Anyway,
I know, but are you sending me what we're going to pay, what we've decided to pay them?
well, I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, I was considering going by the list that they sent us.
Okay. All right, so once you highlight that, that's fine. If you can send that to me by tomorrow by 12, I'd
I
appreciate
will
it.
do my best. I will do
And
my best.
I'm going to finalize the budget hopefully by 2 o'clock tomorrow, and then I will resend it out to the ExCom And I would need your immediate feedback. We have to get this in. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that all, Nicolette, for you?
Yes, that's it for me.
I see, okay. Who's next online?
I should be, but I don't have anything to add. Oh, no, I shouldn't say I should be. I was on the minutes. I'm sorry. But since I spoke, I'll just say that I don't have anything to report because I had hoped that we would have had some feedback from the members. And so I'd like to defer legislation for another month.
Okay, thank you. I wrote there that it will be very nice if we have written apologies from all the executive members as a matter of protocol. I don't know whether they forgot about it this time, but I think I would like ask Shellen Ingram, our honorary secretary, to please bring to their attention. It will be nice if we receive information. And also we want to know if they're well and so on. That's very important too. So perhaps put a nice letter to advise them to give us apologies and whatever. Thank you. I would like that to be.
Okay. Madam
another-
Chair? Madam
Yes,
Chair?
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
we did
ma'am.
have an apology from Kenya Nottage. She
Oh,
was
thank
unable to
you.
be in. Kenya did.
Thank you so much. And
Okay.
thank you so much.
So,
According to,
mhm.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Is Nicolette, it's not Nicolette, Dawnette, is she still here? Because she wanted to submit because she had a short time. I don't know if she's still here.
Yes, is she here?
Yes, I'm
Donna?
here.
Okay, so if Dawnette can go, that'll be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Dawnette?
All right. Good evening, everyone. So I have a brief written report because I wasn't sure I would have had a chance to actually go through the report. Let me just bring it up. So the first thing I wanted to speak about is the adjudicator. At the last meeting, it was recommended that we get quotes from at least 2 or 3 graphic designers. I contacted Mr. Morris Ambrister, who was referred to me by Chairman Rengen. I requested a quote on the 7th of September. I haven't received anything up to date, despite reminding him a few times. I didn't think that was a good sign because if you can't even give me the quote, how are you going to respond? You know, when we need to get this together and we have stuff that needs to go in and, you know, we have to communicate back and forth. He promised me again today that I would have had it before the meeting. I still haven't received it. We also have a quote from Joanna Gaskin. She is actually a Rotarian, and I had shared with you guys the flipbook version of a newsletter that she did for Rotary for District 7020 that I thought was quite attractive, and it was a good look. I asked her for a quote, and she said the cost would be $650 to create a flipbook with about 50 pages, as we had recommended. We also asked for a design of a cover. She sent a few designs, which I shared in the group chat for the officers. Let me see if I could probably share my screen and show them to you guys. Hold a second. I probably could just download them and share with you. I know one of them is a gavel, and Chairman Rankin said she is not too fond of using litigation instruments. So let me share my screen. I had to download them. Sorry about that. So the first design for the cover looks like this. You know, if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Of course, we can add or take out. So I've asked her to do another image since there was some issue with using a gavel, perhaps using the images we have on our website. So she should be working on that momentarily. Let me share the other one. Sorry, this other one is this is the other design. Are you guys seeing it? Oh dear. Oh, same one, sorry.
Yes, the same one.
Right, this was the other design. Can you see that one?
Yeah, the balance, that looks good.
So the idea behind the cover is that we want to brand it so that we're not changing the cover from year to year. We would simply just change the issue number and maybe the year. But it would be recognizable, you know, similar to the revolver. Actually doesn't change. It's the same cover, and then they change the, of course, the inside of it. So that's the idea behind it. So there's one more that she's working on, which would have the image that's on our website, which is an image of a part of Paradise Island. And of course, when I get that, I will share it with the team. So that's it for the design. And
I think both of those look nice, but I think both of those portray attorneys only.
no, I don't think so, because look, I'm in Rotary and we use the
Okay,
gavel more than
I'm
we
just
use
saying what I
IT
think
use
as
the
a
court.
non-attorney.
So
Well,
the
I'm just-
second one shows a balance with the scale, isn't it?
It gives the
So that's
impression
kind
that
of- but-
arbitration is just attorneys.
Is, you know,
That's
about
my
balance,
impression anyway.
balancing, but Madam Chair,
Mhm.
she's the one who
Yes.
has to give the say. You have to
Maybe
give-
when we have the third one, we could take a vote.
Yes, but we can give our opinion, right?
Yeah, and
Yes,
I'm
of course.
taking that. I'm just mentioning that there's a third one, which I'll share with the group, so we don't have to actually decide between two. We'll have a third one that she's designing at the moment. And as soon as I get it, I will send that to the group. All right, so so that's it for the design of the cover. Like I said, it's
But because I adopted one for my negotiation, I actually had two hands shaking.
sorry, I
And,
got kicked out for a
It was
minute.
quite nice.
I got kicked out for a minute. So I was just saying that we can make the decision on which design later. We can bounce a few others around. I was just sharing the two that she came up with, and I
Give her
understand.
time.
She,
Bring some hands, see if we can have a handshake or something else with it. I think to me that represents more negotiation, settlement, like Carol suggested. Thank you,
Okay.
Donna.
I just wanted to
right.
ask Donette and Shellen, we put a lot of work, or you put a lot of work into the last adjudicator. So was it sent out to those organizations that we said that we would, you know, Shellen said that she had the email and she would send them out to get us some, you know?
I sent them out, yeah.
I
You
shared
send them
it
out?
very widely. I shared it on our social media page. It's on our London page. So once they visit our
Both of us.
website,
Yeah.
they
No,
would
I meant
see
the
it as well.
organizations. Remember those?
All
lists
of the
Yeah, she
organizations.
said
were
yes.
sent out.
Oh,
she said
okay.
yes.
I'm just asking.
So Charlene, what you could do is copy me so that I have that information, because I'm not able to send out because I'm not familiar with all the email addresses and so on.
Okay.
As it relates to, so that's the adjudicator. If there are no further, there are no questions or comments, I'll just move to my next item on my report, which is the online payment solutions. Madam Chair referred to the meeting we had with SAG. We met with Mr. Sebastian Curry, and he was actually referred to us by Bank of the Bahamas as one of the gateway providers that can integrate with the bank or account and have funds going directly to our bank account. The cost to set up is $159.99, and there's a monthly fee of $54. He also suggested that we could use a concierge option, and that has a fee of $379, and it covers 10 hours of assistance to use the portal to assist us when we have issues, to help us load on stuff that we need to load on with the pay button attached and so on. And we can use our 10 hours as best as we can. The turnaround time for setup is 48 hours. All right, so I think Madam Chair wanted to table a resolution for us to vote to go ahead so that Mr. Curry can begin working on this.
Yeah.
But let me just give my last item and then we can move to that as it relates to the survey. All right, let me see if I can share the results of that survey. I think I shared it in a message. But for those who are not in that group chat, I will just share my screen as well. I hope it takes me directly to the link. All right, so this was the result of that survey. How likely are you to do a course with CIArb in the near future? And the majority said very likely, right? So that's 80% saying very likely. Only 4% said not likely. Only 21 persons completed this, but I believe that's a good sample size based on the number of members we have. Unfortunately, they were only able to select one option as it relates to courses because the Monkey Survey app that I have is the free version. I'm not sure if the paid version allows multiple choices, they probably do. But we had that as a disadvantage in that you could only name or select one course. The majority, which is almost what, over 30%, selected a diploma in maritime. And the second popular choice was construction adjudication. So those were the responses. And online, of course, was the method of choice, with 19% saying hybrid, so a blend between. The majority that took part in the survey were legal professionals and a few non-legal. Only about 10% students. I had anticipated that more persons would have. So in the section where you select other, or you say how we could help, persons included the other subjects which I had recommended. So international commercial mediation, awards writing was selected. But if you tally those to the numbers, it really doesn't change the data significantly. I know that there were persons who wanted refresher courses and they wanted an opportunity to shadow an arbitration proceeding, which brings me to the next point. I know that Chairman Rengin and myself, as well as ExCom Chair Cherise, we were in discussions about a mock arbitration proceeding, which should be in October. I reached out to Cherise a few times. I'm not sure if Chairman Rengin has spoken with her or have an update on that. But if it's going to be in October, we should have already been you know, far advanced in terms of our planning, and I haven't seen anything. But that was one of the feedback we got. More than one person want to shadow an arbitration proceeding to get and some kind of mentorship program so they can see what happens in an arbitration hearing. And I think that was it. The age group, not very important, but majority 53 to 63. And that was it for the survey. If there are any questions, you can just field them now.
Excellent. Thank you.
Does the mock arbitration have a cost to it, COST?
I believe it was supposed to be a free webinar.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
And we have to get in. She did an excellent job.
Yeah,
with
she did
whatever
an outline, like a whole, you know,
Yes.
a format. I think she probably made up a factual scenario that we would share, and then you would have an arbitrator. She would select lawyers for both sides, or arbitrators, mediators. But I don't know. We are all very busy, so I can't say that, you know, she has shelved it. Maybe we still can pull it off. I don't know. I think we just need to reach out to her to see how we can get that going.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
not October, we could possibly push it to an early date in 2022.
That's true. Very good. Yes. To complete you, Donette, I would like to ask our ExCom members to take a resolution on adopting the form of payment by SAG, please. Can we take a motion on that, please? Or there's more
Well, I vote in
information?
favor of.
Okay, we have
What
to,
is the motion for?
But
I
shouldn't
didn't
that
hear
go, shouldn't that go
I
through the
wasn't-
same process as the audit?
Payment by what? I don't. I'm
Online
sorry.
payments.
online payment.
Or the
Kathy.
online payment.
Online
Oh, yes.
payment program.
Yes, online
Yes.
payment, the way we pay our CARB dues, that's fine. Mhm.
Yeah, so it would be similar to the way you pay your CARB dues. It will be attached to the website for CARB London on our page. So if we put a course there, it would give them an option to click on a pay button and pay online with a credit card. Currently, I think they're just doing wire transfers and checks. But this is just offering them a more convenient way of paying, because sometimes
Yes.
people don't have the money upfront, but they may be able to put it on a credit card or
Yeah.
a debit card.
That's right. So we have we want everyone's okay for us to go forward with this form of payment. And I
Yeah,
think
so
it's one of
Bank
the,
of Bahamas, just for, I see that quizzical look on Delphine's face. Bank of Bahamas sent us their gateway provider, the portal that they use for the bank. They sent us the provider. That's Mr. Curry.
Yeah.
For him to assist us in setting up and to integrate CARB's payment platform with the bank. So when someone pays, it goes directly to the bank. There are no charges to CARB, but the user pays a 2% convenience fee, either 2 or 2.5% convenience fee.
yeah. And I didn't think that was such a bad thing, because with PayPal, when you adopt their payment plan for you, they also charge too. This is to avoid handling, this is to avoid leaving things for people to collect. I think it goes in, if whoever is paid has paid, there's confirmation on it, and there is no, and there's not much work, which I think it will be ideal for our treasurer. So there, I saw take.
So, Madam Chair, so,
Yes,
sorry, Madam Chair, yeah, so the adoption of that probably should go through the same process that Mrs. Lashley said for the adoption of the auditors.
yes. So Carol, would you like to take on that process that you adopted? Are you there, Carol?
I think
should-
Shellen is doing that.
Shellen is doing it, well, Shellen can do it. Shellen, go ahead, please.
No, I think something they're gonna do after the meeting.
Something they're gonna do after the
It
meeting?
has to be circulated to all the
Circulated to
members.
all the members. Because I
Yes,
think it
because
was
the-
only circulated to the
At
ExCom,
an
to the
AGM.
officers.
Mhm.
So we're going to ask all the members to okay it? Is that what you're
No, I
saying?
thought we were just giving them
I'm not sure
information.
exactly what they're doing, but they must have the information. We can't sit here and it would be inappropriate for us to sit here and then determine who the auditors are. So Carol seemed to be dealing with that part of it now, and she will do the
Okay, so
paperwork.
are you suggesting, Kathleen, we should do the same thing with the payment plan?
The same thing should be with the payment plan because it's
Or
not
as
the
it
last.
relates, are we voting on whether or not to use it, or I'm trying to understand what we're
thought-
going
no.
to them to vote on.
I got the impression that we decided at the meeting that we would go ahead with Baker Tilly, but it would go through the corporate process. And so I was suggesting that the same thing, yes, we agree to use the SAG, but it'll go through the corporate process. That's the impression I got from Mr. Slashley and what we discussed earlier. We
Okay.
made the
Well-
decision here. Everybody was invited to the meeting. We've made the decision, but it goes through a formal
process,
process. And I
yes.
guess maybe going through the process, if somebody strongly objects, I guess they can say so.
Mhm.
Then it has to be clarified. That's it.
But I think this is a very good idea
Right.
because let us vote on it. And because if I'm doing a course by someone else other than the Bahamas branch, there's no opportunity for me to pay in installments. No such thing exists. A course with Harvard in mediation, you pay up front. End of story.
That's the same thing with
We
this
pay up in
platform.
person.
You pay upfront. You will
That
not
is
be able to
correct.
pay
And-
in
But
installments.
that's the way we're going to run it. That's the way, and that's the way.
Yes.
Right. So
So
Kathleen,
everything
we've
will be
decided,
up front.
I mean, I think
So-
we've decided we'll go with it, but we'll
Yes, and Carol will put it through the corporate
we'll
process.
disseminate it through the corporate process with the resolution and all of that.
Yes, the
Well,
rest.
That's what I understand.
That's
Yes.
what I am proposing to, everything has to go through a resolution. So there,
Right.
for our record, everything would have been completed
Agreed.
as the corporate protocol. However, though, aren't we as ExCom, that can make a resolution and it has been accepted?
Yes, we can agree it, and then she puts it through the corporate process.
So that's what I'm saying. So therefore, there's a motion, it's seconded, and then we take a vote.
Mhm.
So have we established that, or we
I
don't have?
agree. I agree. I support it. I support it.
Okay,
So
those who
do
are
I.
in favor,
I support the motion.
those who are in favor, yay or nay?
Yay, for me, for Kathleen.
So therefore, that's it, that's resolution passed.
Mhm.
So therefore,
No,
Carol
I missed
will-
that. My power
motion?
cord was, I needed to get my power cord because my battery was going. What was the motion?
That we adopt the payment plan recommended by the bank, as well as the program that we all saw, which you presented to us over an hour, as a form of payment for our courses, for whether they're members or not members. That's the way
Right.
we're gonna.
And,
That's what it is, the
not to prolong, but I just wanted to clarify that we did check with London, and the option of paying through London was there, but we would have lost on the foreign exchange conversion because they would collect in pounds, then they have to convert it and send it back to us in Bahamian dollars. So we explored that and it was not feasible. So that's why we went
Yes.
directly to Bank of Bahamas to see how we could do online payments from our website or from invoices that we send with a pay button, and they recommended this gentleman.
Okay, thank you. Going to the next one in the agenda is collection of outstanding debts prior to 2021 by the Bahamas branch. I have to say that those persons who have tried to deal with outstanding monies that were owed, according to my information, owed on courses has not all been, has all been completed. And when I was the first chair last term with Michael, he was also trying his best to put this in order, and he requested, and also it was agreed by Shellen that she will assist in collecting what was owed. We had at the time, there was a meeting, and Shellen said she will do her best by having the list of persons. It was recommended that we do not We do not embarrass anyone unless it's a legitimate information and a legitimate invoice that they owe the CIArb the money for whatever it was. It was the case. And unfortunately, not all the outstanding monies were resolved during Michael's term. They rolled over to me. And I decided that after 5 months, and it's not that Shellen has not tried her best, but I believe there's still an outstanding amount. I'm not too sure how much it is, but there again, on a way of protocol, following CIArb branch, as well as CIArb's protocols, we cannot have people owing us money. That is confirmed persons who owe us money. And therefore, I decided about some months ago to bring this matter to ExCom, but having given those persons, whoever owe, time to pay or to bring to their attention. So therefore, I'm requesting, ladies and gentlemen, actually, we're all ladies here, right? Sorry. All the ladies who are here. I would like to include the ExCom. So therefore, we will make a decision as to which ones we're going to write off, as to which ones we're going to pursue to collect. And if those persons who admit that they owe such and such amount, we put a payment plan if they're not able to pay all at one lump sum. It has been a lot of work, both for Shellen Ingram as well as our treasurer, and I commend them both because they have tried very hard. But it is time now we put it to the ExCom to make the final decision as to where we're going to go from where we are. So therefore, during my term, this matter is well settled and done with, and we don't have to be putting it aside to deal with it. I want it to be resolved. And resolved in a professional way, resolved in a way that is not going to damage our reputation or anyone else's. And that's very important to me. We do it with grace, we do it with professionalism, and at the end of the day, ExCom will make the last decision, and not me or the treasurer or Shellen Ingram or anybody else. And we will do it as a group and to resolve it one time all. So I have all your ears. I would like you to participate. I'm going to recommend, in order to complete this, that we, if Shellen still wants to continue with assisting, she may do so, but we want more people to help her and to go through the amounts that are owed and by whoever it is owed. I really personally don't want to deal with it. I want to complete it. I would like it to be completed, so therefore we don't deal with no debts. And at the moment, I really don't know how much and who it is and what it is, and I don't need to know. But if you let me know, I have no problem about it. But I would like all of us to address it and to complete it. Thank you. Nobody saying anything? Excuse me, Executive Committee, I am putting it in your hands. We have to finish with this. Because it's not fair on one or two people. It has to be resolved. If you whatever information, you can request the information, which I think you should have it. And then we can meet at a special meeting to deal with it. And we either write it off or we follow through and collect what is due to us, but it has to be handled. I apologize that I'm taking your time, but I decided that it's time to write it off or complete it, deal with it, and so no more, whoever's gonna come after me has to deal with this. I call this spring cleaning.
What's the nature of the outstanding debts? What categories? Why are there debts?
Shellen, would you be able to give a little explanation, please?
Okay. Sometime in 2015, early 2015, started like about February, March. There were a group of persons who took various courses in arbitration, mediation. And apparently we had an intro courses as well, introductory courses. And some of those persons paid, there was a payment plan. And you have a few of those persons who did not pay anything at all. That kind of slipped through the cracks. And they did all of the courses, took all of the exams, and did not pay. And so we end up with a big outstanding debt of some, it was around 16,000 plus, I think. And it has since been reduced.
26,000. It was 26.
How much was it? Oh, 26. And it has since been reduced because we were able to go through it, examine it, and I was able to give my advice because I was one of those persons who was working with the first chair for CIArb. And so we find ourselves, just cut out all of the other stuff, but we find ourselves right now with what, about 13,000 plus. And we only had a few persons who came forward. Now, what I said earlier is that when I examined it, I realized a lot of those persons had made some payments that I know of myself, and I was included in one of those payments. And it was still showing on the books for BIFs. And so persons had to show receipts or make their bill or send some form of payment to show that payments was made. And then we had one company called, what's the name of that company? MedNet. MedNet came and they did a search through their records, and they were able to find some $2,200 or so that they knew that they did not pay. And then they finally made the payment. And then we have some persons who I've also contacted, like the Attorney General's office. And I can tell you that based on my recollection back in 2015, I had contacted AG's office, and I had contacted persons like the Demerit, one of those lawyers or two of those lawyers out there. And I wanted to find out how come no payment was made through BIFs, because I know that they were in the process of making it. And I later found out that they actually made the payment directly to Bank of the Bahamas, and that posed a problem to us today, because over the years, the payments and all the monies and whatever documents got mixed up over, handling from one chair to the next. And here's where we are at right now. And so I know for sure the AG's office, like I said just now, their payments were made to the directly to the bank, and I sent a letter off to them, including other individuals. I sent to many of them, and only I know for sure two persons who basically didn't pay anything. And so here we are right now trying to iron out. I hope that kind of clarified. If you have any further information, you can let me know. So we are down to about 13,500, I think, Nicolette.
15,600.
It's 15? I thought it was 13 on your last spreadsheet.
I'm not sure. I'm looking at the audited accounts, the last audited accounts. The balance was 17,860, and we received the 2,225 from MedNet. And so I subtracted that from that. And so I'm not looking at my accounting records, but basically that was the only payment that was made. And so the amount will be like $15,665, $635.
Okay. And then in addition to that, there was a payment that was actually made by one of the CIArb members. They actually paid themselves, and that was showing like a payment owed to CIArb, but that was actually a payment by that individual who made the payment, and they never took the cost. So you cannot include that in a bill that to say that was a bill. And we pointed that out on several occasions.
Actually, Shellen, I sent an email on that. I don't know if you read my email, but that $1,500 was already accounted for.
I think it was a bit more than that anyway. Yeah, you clarified that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't come into play, because when that $1,500 was paid, that went under the paid column. It went into the CIArb bank account. And so that is irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the outstanding balance.
Oh, you're talking about the last payment check that I sent? No, I'm not
Yes.
talking about that particular one, but you saw the check number and everything. You were able to clarify that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, as far as MedNet is concerned, they have checked all of their records, and that was what was due and owing for their persons, for their employees, I should say.
But on that listing, they still have a balance. That's what I was trying to let you know. They paid
Okay.
part of it, but part of it is still outstanding on the
Oh,
schedule. There's
okay.
two sets of numbers of MedNet.
Mhm.
One, they paid 1,500, another they paid 2,500. That was like maybe the first payment, and they're.
But you sure that 1,500 matches with because normally BIS would have the check number on the, and if BIS received that, there's no way that I think BIS would have that, because that was made, oh no, that would have been made to BIS, but that would not have been made through the company MedNet itself.
Right, and the balance outstanding is different from 1,500 actually.
Okay.
Now that we have auditors, I'm just gonna ask this, I don't know, perhaps you can help me. We have auditors and they are accountants too. Would it help if we bring that to their attention and then, and for a certain fee that they collect? How would that work?
It'll cost us plenty money.
Yes.
It will
for them
cost
to go.
plenty money.
We will be
Plenty
wiped
money.
out of what we have right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I didn't
Obviously,
I
one of
didn't
the
go
things
into
is-
it.
Yes.
Sorry, I
one
didn't go
thing
deep
you have
into
to-
it because it would have cost us, it's a lot of work to go back and figure. So we were hoping that people would have come up and pay.
As we all know, in a world of finance, there has to be a confirmation that a person owes the money. And there's also a limitation period. There's also that we don't want to be embarrassed, nor do we want to really embarrass anybody else. So therefore, you see, the thing is, you've been handling this, and at the same time, I feel sorry for you, because this should have been dealt with way back. However, it is what it is, and we have this. What would you recommend, Madam Treasurer, for this matter to be sorted out?
Well, I recommend we would have to write off some of it, but I think, I mean, some of it may be collectible, but because the records are so poor, we don't have the information to say this person owes that. Maybe we should write off all of it, and then it would just result that people have gone through the whole process of taking all the courses and gotten their qualifications and didn't pay. And so there's nothing we can do about it. So to get rid of it, the only thing, if people don't want to come forward and say they didn't pay, it would have to be written off.
That's bad debt.
And then it'll take a hit. We'll take a hit in the income statement.
I see. Shellen, I remember you identifying couple of them or few of them. Are you in a position to tell us this afternoon whether those persons that you know they owe the money, are they within the limitation period, or are they still within are they okay? And are they in a position to pay, please?
They probably are not in a position. I think the persons who owe like 3,000 plus, it appears as though they may not be in a position. I know one lady for sure, she really wants to pay it, but she can't. And the last time I talked to her, she was going off to the United States to check her health out, and she was really downtrodden. So I don't know what the situation is now. I can contact and see, make an updated request and see if they can come up with some kind of plan.
What about the MedNet group? They have a substantial amount. They probably pay part. Would they be able to pay the balance?
I don't, well, as far as I know, the MedNet think that they're, well, I can ask them about this $1,500. But
No,
as far as
I'm not talking about the 1,500. If you go further down the spreadsheet, There's another amount. There's like five people. They paid a total of 2,500. They got the discount and there's still an outstanding amount of 3,025. That's separate from the 1,500 and the 2,025. Like there's only 100 owing and basically I write that off. But there's another set. If you look at the spreadsheet, and I sent the spreadsheet to you guys today, you'll see it. And I highlighted it also. I mean, I refer to the cell H 70 to 73 or something. If you take a look at it, you will see what I'm talking about. When
I'll check again with the MedNet tomorrow and see what's going on there.
But look at the schedule first
And
though.
with that balance, based on that balance.
Right, look at the schedule.
Caffeine, do you have any input into this matter, please? I'm going to ask you and Carol. We have a situation. It's happened according to the information that I was provided some years ago. Do you have any way that you can assist with some good advice, please? And Carol.
Well, the only thing I would say is I agree with Nicolette. The accounts were operated very badly. I do not know of any courses where you pay. I know I had made a payment and didn't do a course, and that's where I had a credit and was going to do the shattering, but then had eye surgery. But I know of no courses anywhere where you pay by installments. If you want to do a course with Harvard, the mediation, they have a negotiation now, you've got to pay upfront. Right now, CIArb has an award writing course. I think it's coming off in December. And you've got to send your money for the early bird. I think I missed the early bird. And so it was handled badly. And what I would suggest is, as Shellen is going to do, contact people that you know and see if they will come up with a payment plan or with something. And then you just have to write it off. That's how I see it. And we have learned from our mistake and we won't operate like that in going forward.
Right.
And that's why we are really, really determined to have this pay plan, because I felt so sad when I first heard about it, that we have to still deal with this and we're not responsible for it. And you, Carol Ashley. Carol, are you there, my dearest?
I think she went into another meeting, but she said that she would still stay on the call.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is there anybody else who wish to make any comments, any recommendations before we close this matter and we go to something else, please? Anybody else?
Well, yeah, I mean, no recommendation, but hopefully we can come up with whatever we're gonna write off, you know, by November, December. So I'll let the auditors know if, you know, after Shellen has done whatever, if she is still gonna do something. But, you know, it's just what it is. You know, some people struggle to pay for their courses and some people just got a free ride.
Yes, and I say to both of you, and I say that with complete sincerity. First of all, Shellen, I take my hat off to you, the time you put into this, which at the end of the day, you were not in charge of anything and you tried your best. And I believe and also Nicolette, you also had to deal with this. It's not easy in a small country to go there and to be a collector. I never like it, even though sometimes I have to do it for clients. So therefore, I take my hat off to you. I appreciate your hard work on this. I'm going to recommend that we give it till December, like you said, Nicolette, and then we come back to the ExCom and you will give them the report and that will be the end of that.
Right.
Is how you feel about it. I'm
Okay.
suggesting.
So I'll come back. Yeah, I'll have to, before we close the December books, we make a decision.
Yes.
Because I guess this has caused so much issues that everybody's fighting one another and we're about to rip each other's head off. So it's not worth it.
Well, no, nothing is worth it in life. And I want to do it with grace. I want to do it properly. That's why I brought it here. In no way to put my finger on anybody, believe you me. That's never my intention, but I need to resolve it. Kathleen, how does that sound to you? That we close it in December, whichever way it goes. Kathleen,
Yes, that sounds fine to me, yes.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. We just did it
That's
badly.
right.
And
Yeah.
things are being done differently now. Everybody have
Yeah.
different styles, and we will
Exactly.
not encounter this in future.
Right.
Yes,
right.
thank you so much. And I thank you for this. Now, I know it's late. We can complete the rest of it, or we can do it another time. I just want to share with you something very important that I came across by chance. I attended the Canada meetings that they have for the whole week. I signed it. It was only $75. And one of the things I learned about faculty approval, they have actually created a new arbitrator pilot program. This program is for the purpose of the CIArb new arbitrator program is to provide recently qualified arbitrators with practical hands-on experience in conducting commercial arbitration proceedings and in writing enforceable awards under the guidance of an experienced arbitrator. This is something that they created and is being approved by CIArb.
Hmm.
In our case, I'm going to go right to CIArb itself, and I'm going to ask them to come and give a presentation to us. And so therefore, we can take advantage of this pilot program. There are two program models. The new arbitrator program has two models, the expedited procedure model and the panel model. In both models,
What is the first one? Panel?
the first panel is the expedited procedure model, expedited. And the second one is the panel model.
Okay.
The parties may select their new arbitrators from the CIArb roster found on the CIArb Canada website. They click there to access the list of eligible new arbitrators. Parties are assured that the new arbitrator appointed to determine the dispute has access to an approved, experienced arbitrator to provide confidential procedural advice during the process at no cost to the parties. So the parties have to agree, and that there has to be a qualified person that will basically assist with the proceedings. So the expedited procedure model is the value ranging from 5,000 to 250,000. Okay. Now the panel model offers parties who which have already agreed to have their commercial dispute decided by a sole arbitrator. Two additional volunteer new arbitrators will sit as a members of a three-person panel with a qualified arbitrator. I thought this is the way we can only get qualified penalty. I'm having a senior moment now. Qualifications to practice as an arbitrator by going through these two separate types of models which are available, but we have to have somebody from CIArb to come and give us a presentation, and they will also have to allow us to go into join the certain panel of new arbitrators that will include quite a lot of us now. Actually, there's about 20 of us. And therefore we will appear, and then we will be selected and work with a experienced arbitrator at earning no salary. And I think we shall then on our hands qualifications to qualify as a arbitrator who's ready to work as an international arbitrator. So I'm going to bring it to you, and hopefully this will help us with our faculty approval, ladies. So that's the good news. I think we lost everybody. Is it just I, Shellen?
Hi, I'm here.
There's still 6 of us. So I'm going to work on this. I'm going to write the CIArb tomorrow, and I'm going to ask them to help us to have a webinar with somebody that they recommend from CIArb. So I asked Canada. They told me that you have to be a member of the Canada branch in order to be put in their list. So I'm going to see if CIArb will include us in their list. So we can be asked to go to work with educated, qualified arbitrators to become also educated arbitrator ourselves. What else we have left? Ladies and gentlemen, are you still there or you all left? There's six.
Sleeping now.
I'm still here. I shouldn't be, but I'm still here.
Nicolette, you still there? Okay,
Yes.
Mike. Well, if you want, I can call this meeting completed and we can continue with the rest another day. Maybe we need to have another meeting to finish off the rest of the list. By the way, I am so glad that this afternoon we shared the information with the ExCom members. And at the same time, I really like the fact that there was a recommendation which I think we can adopt with their full knowledge and it will be over. Shellen, how do you feel?
Okay. I'll do whatever I have
I
to do.
know, but then it will come to an end. What about you, Nicolette? How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel okay, but it's always that when this is put on the agenda, the meeting is always like less people. So, but you know, we can only go with what we have, and I feel as though the decision we made is a good one.
That's the most important, Nicolette. I want to.
I think it's sad. I feel sad about it, but I think it's the only way that we can go now, because I mean, I remember when some of those prices come on, I go, I can't afford it. So it's kind of sad that some people didn't pay, but it is what it is, and that's life. So I think we've what you put forward to Calvin and the committee, I think it's a good decision.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm never in my life tried to hurt anyone, but at the same time, I like to find a solution. When something is hanging over some other person's heads, especially with Shellen. Shellen was really graceful to see if she can help. And we know each other as professional persons. And at the same time, I take my hat off to her because I don't think I would have taken such a role myself. But at the same time, I saw the difficulties. I saw that it was not going in that direction, because when something is still there and it's not completed, somebody can easily come and put you in a position where you don't feel comfortable. It doesn't belong to us. We've done our best, as far as I'm concerned. You guys did, and it's time that we call it completed. She's going to try, she said. That's fine. But at the same time, I think what Calvin recommended is the right way to go. And I feel good.
So I said we give Shellen until the November meeting, which will be the 3rd week in November. And at that point, we make a decision.
Yes.
That's what I'd like to do. We can't
Yes,
wait till
one time.
December. December is too
We
late.
can make a decision one time, yeah.
On
Yeah,
November.
we'll make a decision one time. That's right. That's right. And that PayPal procedure we adopted, thanks to Donat, is going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful because we were never going to have to deal with this again. And
Right.
if any chair comes, whether I'm here or not, I hope that all, you know, the majority of the persons will stick to their guns and say, we want the courses to be prepaid if you want to take it. And if you can't afford it, wait for the next term and save you money.
Well, all courses for 2020 and 2021 were paid in full.
Yes, 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 yes. And that's how it should have been from day one. But there again, you know, when things are new and if you don't start making structures from the beginning, you run into these difficulties. And sometimes the people who can afford the most, they don't want to pay for whatever reason. They want to put it up another day, you know?
Right.
And
That is so correct. That's why it hurts. It hurts so much for certain people that they have to scrum and, you know, find this dollar here and find this dollar there, and they paid. And then there are people who could have afforded and didn't pay. But then, as I said, there's nothing we can do about it.
No, and that's what I thought. I prayed about this. I prayed, and I also took advice. I took advice before I took the decision because I don't want to hurt anybody. But, and really at the end of the day, we are completing something that will never be a burden at the back of us. Those who got away with it, fine, but it's not going to happen again. Well, I thank you for this, and God bless you all. And to me, it was a very successful meeting. We shared good information. Nicolette, by the way, I sent to you and to Shellen the list of the prices.
I saw that.
Okay, my love. So
I'm going to work on it tomorrow morning, and
Yes.
and then I will send out my final budget draft. I would need your formal approval by email, but I'll
Okay.
send it out to everybody. But I'd only need the approval from you, I think, at this point, because I've already
Okay.
sent the budget out to everybody.
Okay.
And I'll send that out, and I really want to get that sent out. It'll be London, it'll be past London time, but we're kind of late. So I'm sure they're wondering.
I'm so sorry. It wasn't done deliberately. It wasn't done deliberately.
So so I'll work on it tomorrow morning, and I'll get the information out to everybody on the executive committee. But then I will only need the chair's approval, I suppose, and the secretary, if she wants to send through her approval also.
Yeah. And I want to say, again, thank you so much for your email containing the apology. I appreciate that. And I'm so glad that it has ended. You know, sometimes it's good to say what you feel, but it's always good when someone forgives, when someone says, you know what, I understand you're angry, you're disappointed, but it's okay. Life.
I do apologize. It's a build up. It was even getting the education budget from you guys. I mean, I sent so many emails and whatever, and it takes a while and whatever.
I know.
And
I tell you what,
it was a
wasn't
build
done
up and a
deliberately.
build up and a build up, and I couldn't get the information. And with accounting, it's just like I have to get information in order to
I
do
know.
what I have to do.
I tell you what happened is, I wanted the decisions whatever that we did, decisions to be made jointly. And I have to say that, Rev was busy, Shellen was busy, and somehow we never got together, even though we made several attempts. So I apologize for that. But at the end of the day, bless him, he worked at it, and we had a lovely meeting, and we put things together and we bring it together. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
See, I went
Okay.
through all of
it wasn't deliberately, it wasn't done deliberately.
I went through all of this last year, and to go through it again, I was like, not again. But anyway, next year, I don't know if I'll be the treasurer, but hopefully it'll be easier.
But listen, I'm making everything so easy for you.
It'll be easier. It'll be easier, but I can't create numbers. I can't put costs in the budget if I don't know for sure that they're going to happen. That's what I was trying to stress, you see, and that's why I was so adamant and so persistent, because I wanted you guys to go through the thought process to make sure, yes, we're going to put on this course, because believe you me, CIArb London is looking in detail at these budgets. They're not glancing over them, and
I know. They
so I appreciate that your education committee met. And now that is what I was looking for. And that's why I made it so simple. I just needed the courses, which is the 3 courses, which is doable, and the estimated cost. I mean, the price of the course. And then that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. We didn't want to overdo ourselves. So we put only module 1, and then the other one will be the next year. And then we will do module 2s and maybe even module 3s. But at least we're overdoing it. We're taking whatever that we can handle. And
you can only do so much at a
January
time.
to March.
Yeah. And Nicolette, by the way, had a wonderful email.
I'll leave January to March.
I appreciate that. No, not Nick. I'm sorry.
January to March.
Yeah. Okay, my love.
I'll leave January to March 2023, because you guys didn't send me anything for that. Remember, I explained they also wanted us to put something in approximate for January to March 2023. If you had any idea.
We will do the courses. We will do the adjudication. We will do the adjudication. Okay, that's Correct. We'll do adjudication and we will also do module 2.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't put anything in because I haven't received anything from you. I'll just put in the 3 courses that I got, and that's sufficient. That's fine.
Yeah, and but we want to do, if we can, we want to do 2 modules, which is, module 1 adjudication, module 1 mediation, and then we also want to do, if we can, module 2 for adjudication and module 2 for mediation. Okay?
Right. So you want me to
For
put
next
that
year,
in?
that will be next year. Okay, yes, I want you to put that, please. So we start.
Okay, can you send me an email on that? So I have.
Yes.
That's for January to March 2023.
Yes. That we want to do at least another 2 courses, module 2 for mediation and module 1 for adjudication.
And by 2023, we probably could be doing module 3.
Yeah.
Because the persons who would have completed in 2022 may be able to take those the module 3.
Yeah. So therefore, what I'm saying is, Nicolette, it will be
Module
good.
2 mediation, and what's the other one?
And
also
arbitration.
arbitration.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
No.
It depends on which year.
Okay, we have maritime, which we're gonna do, people can do it independently, but we have construction adjudication, module 1, mediation, module 1. I don't know if we can do it, the 2 of them this year, before the year is out.
Yeah.
I know definitely we would like to do module 2 for before my term is in. So therefore, we would have done module 1 and 2 mediation. Module 1 and 2 for mediation and module 1 for construction and adjudication.
Okay, just remember that isn't what you guys sent me in that email, and that's not what in my budget.
So what did you have? Let me see. So what did you?
Let me tell you what you sent me. You sent me late 2021 mediation module 1 at a cost of $650. Early 2022, which I put as January because I actually have to put in a month, and it's just an estimate month of time. Construction adjudication module 1 at a cost of $450. Mid 2022, international arbitration module 1 at a cost of $500. And I think it's good for us to just leave that as is, because you need 10 people per course for each of those, and then if we were to add more, that's fine, but we just send it in the budget.
All right, then leave it alone then. Okay, leave it alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think we could do module 2 mediation next year?
Late next year. Maybe late next year.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
Kathy,
Module 2, there is a possibility, Madam Chair, because it depends on those persons who are doing it in November. If they pass, then they could be able to do it in March.
yeah, I think you should put module 2 for mediation.
Okay, send me an email on that one.
I will.
So you'll have 2 courses in March, because I think I have March for construction adjudication, and then the one you'll be sending me.
Yeah.
Is it possible, are we doing construction adjudication and maritime law? Could we not do 2 courses at the same time? Not at the same time, but in the same session?
Maritime law, we is better, and it will be correct because we can't do it any cheaper. Do it.
I'm not talking about cheapness. That $650 sounds okay to me, but I'm
no,
saying.
that's with the construction adjudication is $650.
Oh, I have the construction for $450 and the.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No. Maritime is we do it ourselves. We don't have nothing to do with
Do
it.
that independently through CIArb.
Yeah, and module 1 maritime. Module 1 mediation is $650,
Mediation.
and construction is $450. Adjudication.
I have that for construction $450, but
Yeah.
what I was wondering.
Yeah, go ahead, Maida.
The maritime we're going to do through CIArb, is that what you're saying? And when do we
Yes.
do that?
That's for November.
November.
This November.
Yeah,
Yes.
November.
And how much is that?
About 4,000.
Okay,
Or more, I think.
that's for
4
the
or 5.
diploma. Mhm.
Yes.
And
I
how
think
long is that course?
Or I think that's about a week or 2 weeks. I haven't looked at it. I don't remember now. Let me see if I can
That
find.
is similar to the masters then, the diploma that you would have in maritime law from London University. That's similar to then. If
Yes,
it's $4,000, yeah.
Yes.
Or more, yes, okay.
So
And
do we
it's-
have any particulars on it?
It's a shorter time in the course because you've got, for the diploma, you have about 8 subjects if you're doing the LLB. I'm not the masters, LLM.
Masters, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yes. Okay, they're doing it in November 2021.
You have the
it's
date?
But $4,500 or something.
I have to look at it again online, Carol. I think it's in November. It is in November. But I don't know let me put the details, diploma 2021. Okay, I'm looking at it. It's 17
Just to
November.
let Carol know, the
No.
email that Madam Chair sent out is £400 for the tutor fees.
Okay, it is
I'll put
bookable
that in the budget.
in November. It's maritime arbitration is 17 November.
Should I be budgeting for it?
Not for maritime, no, because we're gonna do that online and it is
Yeah,
5.
they're gonna pay. That's not gonna have anything to do with us concerning payments. We are only informing the persons who are wishing to take that. We have that as part of our
What tutor
information.
fees should I put in for those 3 courses?
So the 2 courses is module 1 for mediation is $650. Arbitration.
No, I mean the tutor, the person
Okay.
teaching, the person teaching it. Should I just use this guideline and put in tutor
Yes.
fees for that?
Yes,
I think they
yes.
paid 450 per day too, but. I don't know.
Okay, and we'll just have one. How many tutors are we gonna have per course?
Per course, I think it's
Just
2.
one per course, right? One per course. She's
Isn't it
looking
one
for
for
each
the
course.
assessors?
So if you have construction adjudicator, that's gonna be one course. I think that's about 2 days. Madam Chair, you can check your record.
Yes, I think it's 2 days.
2
Okay,
days, I think.
I need those information.
And
So
it's
that's
only
2
one.
days.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 2 days,
And they
one tutor.
charge per
What
day.
about,
Yes,
what about, that's $400 per day, right?
Yes,
yes. Yes.
Are you sure?
I thought you
Oh,
paid.
yeah, there's per day. So what about mediation? Is that 1 day, one tutor?
it
Is
is
that
2,
1 or 2 days?
it's 2
Pardon?
days. mediation.
2 days as well, okay. But because there's a role play in that, yeah.
Yes,
And
That is a
international
right one.
arbitration, that's 2 days also?
is that
For
module?
International, is it the introductory to it? Because introductory is 1 day, I think.
No, this is module 1.
No, it's
Oh,
not
I see.
introductory, this module 1, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, I'm not familiar.
That's 2 days also, right?
They're 2 days.
Okay, that's the information I need because I don't have
Yeah.
that in my budget. All right,
Right.
I'll put those in. And I'll
Because you have
resend it
one
out
day for
tomorrow.
lecturing and one day for tutoring, one day for assessment.
Right. Okay, well, everybody have a nice evening. Yes.
Yes. Carol, we have resolved the issue relating to the outstanding monies owed to us, and it was decided. Shelley will
Great.
work with it till end of November, and December is cut off. Wherever we are, and it will be closed. And this was also recommended by Calfine.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
just put it in our budget.
It'll be written off, so.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I've got to leave now. Good, can I say good evening to everybody?
yes, thank you so much for being with us
Thank you,
today.
thank
It was and also Carol, you were absent, but I dealt with a very important topic, and that is relating to the CARB has a new arbitrator pilot program, and it actually allows a qualified arbitrators to be it can be involved in a 2 program models where they can be sitting with a experienced arbitrator and will assist at the arbitration proceedings. And I'm going to look into it with CARB and invite someone to do a webinar so we can be included in their list. We have to be included in CARB's list in order to partake in this new pilot program. It was created by Canada with their approval, but unfortunately, I asked them, will they allow non-members to be included in their list? They said no, it will be only to their members. So I'm going to go back to CARB and see if they can put us in that list, if it's possible, or how do we get in this list? So I learned this. I've been attending Canada Arbitration Week. It's been very, very nice, and $5. So today, I couldn't be participating. This was yesterday, and I'm very glad because I learned. So now we can deal with the faculty problem. Approval for faculty could have been resolved with this. That's why they created this pilot program. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Shelley. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's roughly fine.
What else for? They don't last long. Vegetables don't last long. Vegetables don't last long. You have to be very, very careful with them. No, why moving? No. Jesus. Look at that. Look. That's why I'm stage now. You can't have this one with. Yeah. You know, like a, and yeah, like whining more than anything. I think it's more whining than crying. So he in that stage now. No, he's 2. Bring you 2. Oh, yes, please. That's that thing. Last night, he cried so much that day. Right, that's him. My mouth even bit up. You know, like,
Yes, $3,700. Okay. And that would include,